The latest Ford GT is one of the most interesting, exciting supercars on the road today. The futuristic looks and powerful engine are impressive, but the computer trickery taking place beneath its aerodynamic skin is arguably even more fascinating. Ford has now released some information about the processing power driving the GT. Anyone familiar with modern cars will know how reliant they are on computer chips, but the amount of data being collected on the GT takes that to new heights. Ford says the car's 50 sensors generate around 100 gigabytes of data every hour, which is processed by more than 25 computer systems that can analyze 300 megabytes of data every second. The systems are made up of 10 million lines of code, which Ford claims is more than is found in a Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II jet. That data encompasses a huge array of different real-time metrics. Everything from how much throttle is being applied and how much steering lock is being used, to the angle of the adjustable rear wing, the ambient temperature, humidity and sunshine levels. The information is then used by the sophisticated traction control and engine management systems to make sure you're flying down the road at the fastest possible rate. The Ford GT's sophisticated computing systems work hand in hand with the vehicle's core race car architecture to enhance performance, and also deliver greater versatility and flexibility, says Dave Parakak, Ford Performance Global Director. By constantly monitoring inputs, vehicle loads and environment, and adjusting the car's profile and responses to suit, the Ford GT remains as responsive and stable at 300 km per hour as it is at 30 km per hour.
Honda will kick up another gear with plans to introduce a successor to the Honda S2000 Roadster, and our exclusive image is the best hint yet at what it will look like. While our exclusive image predicts what the car could look like if it appears, a newly discovered set of patent renders submitted by Honda hint at a potential new sports car in line with our predictions. Honda has said nothing official on the matter though, and the patent itself pertains to the car's interior, not the exterior design. In 2015 we reported that an S2000 replacement, dubbed the Baby NSX, would feature a mid-mounted version of the Civic Type R's 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Now, according to a source close to Honda, pressure to adhere to stringent emissions regulations has forced the company to downsize the engine to a 1.5-liter turbo which, with electric motor assistance, is expected to generate around 300 bhp. Honda is acutely aware of the popularity of, and the profits to be made from, mid-sized sports cars, especially in the US. Rivals such as the Porsche Cayman, Audi TT, BMW Z4 and even Alfa Romeo 4C will be the targets when the S2000 successor appears in around 3 years. Design inspiration will mainly come from Honda's flagship NSX, seen in the angular LED headlamps, wide air intakes and sculpted rear end of our image. And while the original S2000 was only available as a roadster, Honda is set to change direction and offer the successor as a coupe only. A price of around £50,000 is being targeted, and the S2000 replacement will go some way towards boosting the brand's image in the US, Europe and other markets like Australia. The Civic Type R is a good start, but the NSX will be out of reach for many. So Honda really needs a signature mid-engine sports car that does not break the bank and appeals to fans at the same time, revealed our source. Another critical factor for the new coupe is the company's relationship to Formula One. The new S2000 will incorporate F1 technology and be developed in conjunction with McLaren and Honda's F1 program. Our source explained, when Honda made its last F1 comeback in 1999, it basically coincided with the development of the original S2000. That's where you got the first generation screaming 9,000 RPMs engine.
Nissan is doubling down on the rise of SUVs. Not only has the Japanese brand expanded its SUV range to include the Juke, Qashqai, X-Trail, Pathfinder and Patrol, Nissan Australia has axed most of its passenger car range. The Micra, Pulsar, Almera and Altima have all been dropped in the face of greater demand for SUVs. While the Qashqai and X-Trail have proven popular and sit near the top of the sales charts in their respective segments, the same can't be said for the Pathfinder. It isn't a commercial failure by any stretch, but it hasn't matched the likes of the Toyota Kluger, Holden Captiva and Mazda CX-9. That's despite a complete redesign of the Pathfinder concept in 2013, when it switched from an off-road friendly body-on-frame underpinnings to a more car-like soft-roader setup. For 2017, it has been given a significant update, including an engine that the company claims is 50% new as well as tweaked styling and more technology. Nissan has an extensive range for the Pathfinder with two-wheel drive and all-wheel drive models across 3 trim levels, Street, L and T. We're testing the Saint AWD, which priced from $45,490 plus on-road costs, which is on par with its Toyota and Mazda rivals of similar specification. For the price you get an 8.0-inch infotainment touchscreen, Bluetooth, cruise control, tri-zone climate control, keyless entry and ignition, 6-speaker stereo and 18-inch alloy wheels. It misses out on any active safety features that are available on the Street L and T models, but it does get a reversing camera and rear parking sensors to go with 6 airbags. Servicing is required every 12 months/10,000 kilometers, whichever comes first, but thanks to Nissan's capped price servicing program over the first 3 years you'll spend a reasonable $977. The Pathfinder follows the same design pattern as the rest of Nissan's SUV range, so much so that the cabin looks like a scaled-up X-Trail. It is a practical design, lacking the detail and style of the likes of the CX-9 or Hyundai Santa Fe, but it does the job, offering good small item storage and all the major controls are intuitive. What really impresses about the Pathfinder's cabin is the space and user-friendly seating setup. Space in the second row is generous and it has a sliding function so you can trade off room between it and the third row as needed. Getting into that third row is easy thanks to Nissan's clever arrangement that means the push of a single lever tilts the second row seat forward and lets you slide it forward. That creates a large opening to access the third row. The only criticism of the arrangement is that it's on the wrong side, the driver's side instead of the curb side, a legacy of the US-led design of the SUV. Space in the third row isn't the best in this class, but it's not far off with decent head and legroom. This is where the biggest changes for this updated model have been focused. As mentioned at the start, the company claims approximately 50% of the engine's components are new, even if it remains a 3.5-liter V6. Power is now 202 kilowatts, up 12 kilowatts over the old engine, and torque is 340 Nm, up 15 Nm, which is more than adequate performance to get the big 7-seater moving. There's plenty of punch once you let the engine have a few revs to reach its optimum performance. It's hampered by Nissan's decision to carry over the same continuously variable transmission from the outgoing model. It dulls the engine's performance and means it can be noisy under acceleration. Despite the major changes to the engine, fuel economy has only improved by 0.2 liters per 100 kilometers to a still thirsty 10.1 L/100 kilometers, which leaves it off the pace of the class best. Nissan has also made changes to the ride and handling of the Pathfinder to try and make it more dynamic on the road, now that it no longer has any pretensions of being a serious off-roader. The suspension has been stiffened to try and reduce body roll and cornering, and it has only been partially successful. While it is firmer and slightly flatter when cornering compared to the old model, it still falls short of the dynamic benchmark in this class, the Mazda CX-9. Another change is quicker steering, which reduces the old model's off-center journey but again falls short of offering the directness and feedback offered by the best-in-class. Nissan has made some small improvements to the Pathfinder, but they aren't enough to make it a standout on the crowded 7-seat SUV market. It's let down by a thirsty engine and average on-road character, but it offers up excellent interior space and practicality. And that may be more important to those in the market for a 7-seat SUV, which is good news for Nissan.